Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when someone enters your world and something feels different. You notice the way their eyes stay on you a little longer than usual. You notice how their thoughts seem to return to you even after the conversation has ended. You notice how their energy changes whenever you appear, even when they try to hide it behind normal behavior, silence, or casual actions. And then slowly, the truth begins to reveal itself. It is not always the loud kind of love. It is not always the type of love that makes someone confess their feelings immediately or openly show everything they feel. Sometimes the strongest emotions are the quietest ones. Sometimes love begins in the spaces between words. It begins with curiosity, then it becomes admiration, then it grows into fascination, and eventually it becomes something much deeper, something that feels impossible to ignore. There is a certain type of attention that does not come from everyone. Sometimes it comes from someone younger, someone who is still discovering themselves, someone whose heart is still learning how to understand deep emotions, someone who has not yet built strong walls around their feelings. And when that younger person develops strong feelings for you, it is rarely because of one simple thing. It is not only about appearance, charm, or temporary attraction. It happens because something about you touches a place inside them that they cannot easily explain. Something in your presence awakens a feeling they did not know was missing. Something in your energy becomes difficult to forget. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where human psychology begins to explain what happens beneath the surface. The human heart is rarely attracted only to what the eyes can see. It is attracted to feelings, emotions, memories, hopes, and the things a person unconsciously searches for. A younger person may not only be attracted to you as an individual, they may be attracted to the peace you carry. They may be drawn to the wisdom behind your silence, the strength behind your kindness, and the emotional depth that feels rare in a world filled with noise. They may be attracted to the version of themselves they discover when they are around you. And that is why their feelings can become so powerful. Because sometimes people do not only fall for another person, they fall for the emotions that person awakens inside them. Listen carefully, because this is not always ordinary attraction. This is not always a simple moment of excitement that disappears after some time. Sometimes it is a feeling built through admiration. It begins when someone looks at you and feels that there is something different about you. You do not chase approval. You do not need constant attention to feel valuable. You do not change yourself just to be accepted. And that kind of confidence can become incredibly attractive, especially to someone younger who is still trying to understand their own identity and find emotional balance in a changing world. The first reason is simple. You carry emotional stability, and that stability can feel like a safe place for someone who has not experienced enough of it. A younger person often goes through many emotional changes. One day they may feel completely confident. The next day they may question everything. One moment they may feel excited about life, and the next moment they may feel overwhelmed by uncertainty. Their emotions can rise quickly and fall just as fast. Then they meet someone like you, someone who has already faced difficult moments and still chooses peace. Someone who has experienced disappointment but has not allowed it to destroy their heart. Someone who does not fall apart every time life becomes difficult, and suddenly your presence feels different. It feels calming. It feels comforting. It feels like a place where they can finally relax. Do you understand how powerful that can be? To a younger heart, peace is not boring. Peace is rare. Peace is something many people spend years searching for. The world often teaches people to compete, prove themselves, seek attention, and constantly react to everything around them. But your energy may represent something completely different. You represent calmness. You represent patience. You represent quiet confidence that does not need to announce itself. When you speak, your words feel thoughtful. When you listen, people feel heard. When you look at someone, they may feel that you see more than just the surface. That type of presence can deeply affect a younger person. It can lower their emotional defenses. It can make them feel accepted. It can make them feel understood in a way they may not have experienced before. And when someone feels emotionally safe with another person, attachment can begin to grow naturally. Sometimes, before they even understand what is happening, their heart has already started moving closer. They begin trusting you. They begin feeling comfortable around you. They begin feeling that they do not have to pretend. They do not have to perform. They do not have to hide parts of themselves. And that is often where deeper feelings begin. A younger person may not always say, "I love you because you make me feel stable." They may simply say that they feel happier when you are around. They may say that something feels different when they talk to you. They may say that your presence brings them peace. But underneath those words is a much deeper emotion. It means your energy brings comfort to their mind. It means their emotions become calmer around you. It means your maturity gives them a sense of balance they may not have known they needed. And here is the deeper truth. Stability is attractive because the human mind naturally moves toward what feels safe. People are drawn to places where they can return, where they can breathe, and where they do not constantly have to protect themselves. A younger person may be used to confusion, mixed signals, and emotional ups and downs. Then they meet you. Your presence may not remove every challenge from their life, but it does not create unnecessary chaos either. You become someone who brings calm into their world. And sometimes that feeling of peace can feel like love before they even understand what love truly means. The second reason is this. Your mystery awakens their imagination, and imagination can create some of the strongest emotional connections. People do not always become deeply attached only to what they completely understand. Sometimes they become fascinated by what they cannot fully explain. Mystery has a powerful effect on the human mind. The unknown creates curiosity. Curiosity creates attention, and attention can slowly become emotional attachment. You may carry a depth that someone younger cannot immediately understand. You may not reveal every part of yourself at once. You may not rush to explain your entire story. You allow people to discover you slowly, and that can make you unforgettable. A younger person may look at you and feel that there is something beneath the surface. They may sense hidden experiences, hidden strength, hidden emotions, hidden lessons. They may not know every chapter of your story, but they can feel that your story exists, and their mind begins searching for answers. What shaped you into this person? What experiences made you so calm? Why do you seem both strong and gentle at the same time? Why does your presence feel familiar, even though they are still learning about you? These questions create emotional curiosity, and emotional curiosity can become powerful. They want to know more about you. They want to understand the parts of you that are not easily revealed. They want to discover the thoughts, memories, and experiences that made you who you are. And when curiosity becomes strong enough, it can turn into desire. Desire can become attachment. Attachment can become longing, and longing can become something that feels impossible to ignore. Growth can reveal the hidden insecurities inside a person. When a younger person develops deep feelings for someone who represents maturity, experience, and personal growth, they may not only feel attracted, they may also feel challenged by what that person represents. They may begin to question themselves. They may wonder if they are truly enough. They may worry about whether they can match the level of understanding, confidence, or emotional depth they see in you. They may fear rejection because, in their mind, they are not just approaching another person. They are approaching someone who seems to represent a better version of life. And this emotional tension can make their attachment even stronger. Sometimes the things that feel difficult are the things that become the most meaningful. The more they feel that something is rare, the more their heart wants to protect it. The more valuable the connection feels, the harder it becomes for them to walk away. Ladies and gentlemen, never underestimate the power of emotional elevation. A younger person may be deeply in love with you because your presence makes them feel connected to something greater. You may inspire them to become more aware, more thoughtful, and more intentional with their life. They may not always know how to explain it. They may not have the right words to describe what is happening inside them, but they feel the difference. They feel that being around you changes something within them. You make them think differently. You make them question old habits. You make them reflect on who they are and who they want to become. You encourage a level of self-awareness that they may not have experienced before. And in a world where so many people are distracted, where so many connections remain shallow, a person who helps someone awaken a deeper part of themselves is rarely forgotten. Now, let us look even deeper into the pattern behind this type of attraction. Many times, a younger person is not only responding to your appearance, your confidence, your style, or the way you present yourself. They are responding to something much deeper. They are responding to the emotional structure of who you are. They notice the way you have transformed your struggles into wisdom. They notice how your difficult experiences have shaped your character instead of destroying it. They notice how you carry your past with acceptance rather than bitterness. They see the way your pain has created understanding. They see the way your loneliness has created strength. They see the way your disappointments have created patience, kindness, and emotional balance. That kind of transformation can be incredibly attractive because it shows them that life does not have to break a person. Challenges can create beauty. Difficult moments can create depth. Experience can create a kind of peace that cannot be easily copied. A younger person may be searching for emotional honesty, even if they do not consciously realize it. They may be looking for someone who feels genuine. Someone whose words match their actions, someone who does not treat love like a performance or a game. And when you are truly authentic, you become something rare. You are not trying to appear flawless. You are not hiding behind an image created to impress others. You are simply comfortable with who you are. You have accepted your strengths, your weaknesses, your history, and your journey. That kind of realness has a powerful effect on people. Because many people spend their lives trying to appear perfect, but very few people have the courage to simply be real. And authenticity creates a form of attraction that goes beyond appearance. There is also another powerful element involved, and that is contrast. A younger person may experience uncertainty within themselves and then encounter your calmness. They may feel overwhelmed by their own emotions and then see your ability to remain steady. They may act from impulse and then become fascinated by your patience and self-control. They may spend much of their life searching for attention, only to meet someone who does not need to chase attention because their presence naturally creates it. This difference can become deeply attractive. The contrast between their energy and yours can create a feeling of balance. They may feel that where they are confused, you bring clarity. Where they are restless, you bring peace. Where they feel lost, you seem to carry direction. And this is one of the oldest patterns in human psychology. People are often naturally drawn toward qualities they feel are missing within themselves. A younger person may see in you the stability they desire. They may admire the confidence they are still trying to build. They may be drawn to the emotional understanding they have not yet developed. They may respect the patience they wish they possessed. They may look at your inner balance and feel inspired by it. Their feelings may become a form of reaching, a reaching toward growth, a reaching toward emotional completeness, a reaching toward becoming the person they hope to be one day. And when this happens, their emotions can become extremely powerful. They may find themselves thinking about you more often than expected. They may replay conversations in their mind. They may remember small details about your words, your expressions, and your actions. A simple message from you may create excitement. A small gesture may bring comfort. A conversation with you may stay in their thoughts for days because it made them feel something different. It is not only that they like you, it is that something inside them recognizes your importance. Something about your presence feels meaningful. Something about the connection feels different from ordinary attraction. But ladies and gentlemen, it is also important to understand the other side of this situation. When a younger person becomes deeply attached because of these powerful emotional reasons, the feelings can sometimes become complicated. They may begin to idealize you. They may focus so much on what you represent that they forget you are also human. They may create an image of perfection that no person can truly fulfill. They may confuse admiration with destiny. They may believe that because the emotions feel intense, the connection must automatically be meant to last forever. But strong emotions alone do not always tell the complete story. Intensity shows the strength of a feeling, but wisdom determines how that feeling is handled. A powerful connection still needs honesty, patience, and reality. A person can feel something deeply and still need time to understand what those feelings truly mean. That is why self-awareness becomes so important. When someone younger is strongly attracted to you, the important question is not only why they love you. The deeper question is whether they love the real person standing in front of them or the meaning they have created around you. Do they understand your true personality, your imperfections, and your human side? Or are they only attached to the feeling they experience when they are around you? Do they love your presence, or the future they imagine because of your presence? These questions matter because they decide whether the connection becomes something healthy and genuine, or whether it remains only a beautiful fantasy. And yet, even with all of these complexities, there is something truly beautiful and deeply human about this kind of connection, because at its heart, love is often created through a powerful combination of longing and recognition. It is the moment when one person sees something in another person that feels meaningful, familiar, and unforgettable. A younger person may look at you and feel understood. They may feel challenged in a way that helps them grow. They may feel comforted by your presence while also feeling inspired to become better. That combination is powerful. It is not something small. It is not something that can be easily ignored. When someone feels seen, encouraged, and accepted at the same time, it can create an emotional impact that stays with them for a very long time. Sometimes people believe that love must begin with perfect compatibility, but many of the deepest connections begin with something much simpler. They begin with recognition. It is that unexpected feeling that a certain person matters, the feeling that something about them stands out before the mind can fully explain why. It is the sense that their presence has touched something deeper within you. This is what can happen when a younger person meets someone who carries emotional maturity, mystery, and inner peace all at once. They do not simply admire you from a distance. They feel drawn toward the world you represent. They see a way of living that feels calmer, wiser, and more meaningful. They feel attracted not only to who you are, but also to the feeling they experience when they are around you. And here is something many people hesitate to admit. A mature presence can often feel safer because it has already learned the lessons that come from uncertainty and struggle. It has already experienced disappointment. It has already faced difficult moments. It has already discovered that not everything in life deserves panic, and not every problem requires a reaction. To a younger person who is still trying to understand life, this kind of energy can feel like a lighthouse in the middle of confusion. It represents direction. It represents stability. It represents the possibility that life can become clearer with time. And human beings are naturally attracted to direction when they are tired of feeling lost. But this attraction is not only about safety, it is also about energy. A younger person often carries a sense of curiosity, hope, movement, and possibility. They bring a fresh perspective and a desire to experience life fully. When that energy meets someone who carries wisdom and emotional depth, something unique can happen. It creates a powerful balance. Your experience does not mean you have lost your ability to feel excitement. Your maturity does not mean your heart has become quiet forever. In many ways, your experiences may have made you more alive, but in a calmer and deeper way. Your eyes carry memories. Your voice carries meaning. Your silence carries understanding. The way you move through life reflects everything you have learned, survived, and overcome. And that combination of vitality and depth can become incredibly attractive. So when someone younger becomes deeply in love with you because of these reasons, understand that it may not be based only on surface attraction. It may be connected to something much deeper. It may be the feeling of emotional safety, the curiosity created by mystery, the inspiration that comes from growth. It may be the comfort of feeling at home while also feeling encouraged to explore something unknown. These three powerful forces can create emotions that feel overwhelming, unforgettable, and impossible to ignore. But what should you do with this understanding? First, do not allow admiration to quickly turn into ego. Being noticed does not always mean being truly understood. Being desired does not always mean being loved in the healthiest way. Attention can feel powerful, but wisdom requires looking deeper. Second, do not immediately dismiss the connection as meaningless. Sometimes the heart recognizes something before the mind has the ability to explain it. Some connections do carry significance, but they must still be tested through honesty and reality. Third, always remain truthful. If the connection is genuine, allow it to grow through respect, understanding, and honesty. But if the feelings are based only on imagination or an unrealistic image, do not encourage the illusion. Real love must be strong enough to survive reality. A younger person who is deeply in love with you may be standing at the beginning of their own personal transformation. Your presence may have awakened something within them. Your energy may have encouraged them to see life differently. Your character may have challenged them to grow. And perhaps without even realizing it, you have become an important chapter in their personal journey. That is a meaningful responsibility. Because when one person sees another person as a source of inspiration and awakening, the connection can influence both lives. This is why certain people remain in our memories long after they are gone. They do not always enter our lives as dramatic events. Sometimes they arrive quietly. Sometimes they simply appear at the right moment and create a shift inside us. They make us discover emotions we did not know were waiting to be awakened. They become connected to a new understanding of ourselves. And sometimes the person who feels the deepest impact is the younger one, because youth often carries a powerful openness. They have not yet learned to hide every emotion behind distance or indifference. They have not yet mastered the art of pretending they do not care. Their feelings can be intense because they are still discovering what the heart is capable of experiencing. So, if a younger person is deeply in love with you, do not look only at the difference in age. Look beyond that. Look at the emotional connection. Look at the stability you may provide. Look at the curiosity and inspiration you may create. Look at the personal growth that may be awakened through knowing you. These are not ordinary things. These are the qualities that touch the deepest parts of the human soul. And remember this final truth. People do not remain in love with the surface of someone forever. Appearance can attract attention, but depth creates lasting connection. People fall in love with the peace they feel around you. They fall in love with the questions you make them ask themselves. They fall in love with the growth you inspire. They fall in love with the feeling that life becomes more meaningful when they are near you. That is why a younger person may become deeply attached to you. Not because you are simple, not because you are easy to understand, but because something about your presence makes them feel that love is more than attraction. It is more than excitement. It is more than a temporary feeling. It becomes an experience that reaches deeper into the heart. Ladies and gentlemen, love has never been only about age. It has always been about connection. It has always been about resonance. It has always been about what one person awakens inside another. When a younger heart connects with someone who carries wisdom, calmness, and emotional depth, the experience can feel powerful. It can feel unexpected. It can feel like destiny. It can feel like the beginning of something extraordinary. But at the deepest level, it is often the human heart recognizing the qualities it needs in order to grow. And that is why someone younger may become deeply in love with you. Because you make them feel safe. You make them feel curious. You make them feel inspired to become more than they are today. And that kind of connection is not ordinary. That is the kind of love that has the power to change people forever.